a period of a year or 1 year and get up to 70% discount. Yes, no brainer. And you can also consolidate all of these benefits. If you have a license, you apply reserved instance. If at the end of the day, you might end up paying up to like $200 or $400, for the whole, monthly or for the whole year, depending on the cost of the instance type you or the virtual machine or whatever service that you're actually consuming in the cloud, right? So these are the ways you can save cost. So briefly, we've been talking about, applications, how you can modernize, how you can host your data in the cloud, how you can use digital technologies, right? I want to play a 2 minutes video that talks about a company called Sandvik, and is a manufacturing company, and how they have used, digital, technology like Internet of Things, which is IoT, to ensure that they stay operational, right? They are efficient, and it makes their job easy. It reduces human labor as well. So give me a moment while I play that video. Move your mouse and play it. Just play it. Go to the play. Go to the play. It's not playing. I can't even see your mouse. Are you controlling? It's not showing. No, look at the screen. Can you use your mouse to control it? No, 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 no. So if you put it there. Play. Can you stop sharing on? Did you extend? Or should I skip? Okay, so why they are trying to sort that out? So let's talk about Internet of Things, and I believe it's a solution that is, at the top of the hearts of everyone, right? So when we talk about Internet of Things, what do we mean? So Internet of Things is a connectivity device or a data processing solution or object, right? That enables or that pulls out rich data or telemetry data from your devices, your physical hardwares, right? And then it provides you, visualization of your data on the state, the health state, or the state of that device which you want to track or monitor, right? And yeah, so there are few things we're going to be talking about today on Internet of Things. First, we're going to talk about intelligent connectivity. And the next, we'll talk about intelligent insights. And then we'll talk about actions, right? These are the three pillars that makes up Internet of Things. But before I go into this, bear in mind that when we talk about IoT, right, it is not just specific to, a particular industry. The health, the transport companies, the agriculture, finance, and all that, right? It provides you that smart workplace or smart homes. I believe we must have seen homes or, hotels or even, adverts where we see, people speak to their devices, and then it automates something. So I'll give you, for instance, I saw an advert where someone spoke or gave a command to say turn off all appliances at home, and then that's what's affected, right? I believe we all know what Alexa. So Alexa is more like an AI machine or bot that you can speak to, and you can give a command, and then it triggers that command based on what you've done. So that is part of what you get, using Internet of Things, right? It can be configured in a way that you get to see, probably maybe get to see a command. It triggers a command. It triggers an action. Or you get to visualize your data, right, in real time and understand what's happening without manually going to see what's happening, or going to take actions on those devices or endpoints. So that is the capability of Internet of Things, right? So let's talk about what IoT sensors are. So these are physical hardwares that you install on devices, right? And when they are installed, it relays data to the to an endpoint where you want to get that data stored. So an example of one of those endpoints you can relay those data so is what is known as the Azure IoT Hub, right? It is a management tool where you get your data as virtualized, right? And you get to see what's happening in real time across where those sensors are installed. So let's talk about the sensors. You have temperature sensors. These are just a few, right, that I've actually put up on the slide just to show you what kind of sensors you can get to monitor and send your data to an Azure IoT Hub or an injection service for visualization. So you have a motion sensor, you have a pressure sensor, you have the volume sensor, you have the speed sensor, and also a power sensor. So these are just a few. If we are to look into a production, say a production factory of a water bottle, right, you will understand that, and you know that, it goes through a life cycle for production, whereby, at the point where you need to print out, the inkjet printer is there, and you have a labeling machine. You even have a machine that, that takes care of the bottle itself. It goes through a series of wash and the water treatment machine and all of that, right? So it goes through a life cycle. So rather than having to go through these machines one after the other to check if they are doing well, if they are doing maintenance, or if there is an issue with them, how is their health state, if it's critical or in a warning state, if it's printing fine, right? You can have sensors installed on each of these machines. You don't have to necessarily have to go to those machines physically to know what's happening, if they are producing fine, if they are actually performing well as expected. You can set up sensors across each of these machines, this production machines, to get data, and the sensors relay the data, into Azure IoT Hub or Power BI for visualization. And all you need to do is, depending on what you're using to visualize your data, you're just monitoring and seeing what's going on. And if there's an issue, you can go to that particular machine where the issue is and then check what's going on. So that is an example of what you get when you set up a sensor. And yes, it's not just about production environments. You can set up sensors across your homes, your workplace, even your computers, your printers can have a sensor set up in them, and the data are relayed for visualization. Even your microwave, your mobile phones as well, even your wristwatch. You can check the pulse of how many miles you've covered, if your heart is beating fast, or all this kind of important information for visualization. And the beauty about this is that it saves you that time and is more secured. It reduces that human labor or effort to do these things manually, and that's why it's called smart workplace, right? So let's talk about intelligent insights and actions. So there are a couple of solutions that Microsoft Azure has provided to ensure that you have the right service, you have rich services for your Internet of Things. So ideally, it goes through three processes, from the data, at the point when you're ingesting the data and what kind of data are you ingesting, right? There are different solutions that can be used, for data ingestion, like your IoT Hub, Event Hub, Data Catalog, and the likes. And then for intelligence, and when these data are ingested, there has to be somewhere that this data needs to be stored before they get visualized. And that is where your data storage comes in. So there are number of solutions you can use within Azure for data storage. So you have the data lake, you have SQL database, the SQL data warehouse, and your SQL database and the likes. And then the intelligent part, where you create this data and the data is being, understood by a machine learning, AI, and the likes, and then presents this data to you to tell you this is what we were able to find from your, from the data that was ingested, and then the action, what action is taken. Would you want the bots to take or to trigger invert, Cortana, the likes, or virtualization, and you have Power BI or the cloud native dashboard virtualization too. And then this solution and also can be virtualized in your mobile phones, your webs, your boards, and also your PCs and tablets. Okay, so I am going to walk you through a demo that we've been able to, gather, just to give you an idea of what it's like to set up a IoT device, right, on a fleet management, right? So this is a fleet management setup that has been done, right, that sends the data and it's integrated with Azure IoT Hub. So the data is being visualized on Azure IoT Hub, and then you get to see what's happening. So from the fleet management, right, there are quite a number of trucks and the locations that which they've covered. So if you look at the bottom, you would notice that there are some that are green and there are amber colors, and then there are red. So these, when a sensor is configured on such fleet management or trucks, okay, these are the kind of information you get, the health states, if they're healthy or not, if they are critical, you get such kind of alerts, or if they are, at the warning states. So at the warning state, it could be that the trucks are broken. It could be that there's something wrong with the truck and it's not being able to perform the activities it's supposed to perform, right? You get, the number of trucks, the fleet status, delivery time, driver utilization and the likes, right? So on a dashboard visualized, okay? So this is just a sample of it. So these are the kind of alerts you get: maintenance due, truck broke down, driver fatigue. Is the driver tired? Is the driver overworking? How many hours has the driver spent on the road and the likes? Okay. So then, if you look at the truck overview, you can see that there are different sensors that has been set up on each of the layers of this truck. Temperature sensor, tire pressure sensor. Even the engine. And everything, even the cooling, because the truck is a cooling van. Okay, so there's a sensor for the cooling van as well that has been set up. So apparently, it tells you even the cooling state of the cooling system, if it's getting, if it's below, if it's getting, if the cooling state is low or high, right? You get all of those information as well. So drilling down into that, you can also create tags for the cooling units. Okay, so at this point, right, you can also send an alert response and confirm and notify the driver. So when you do this, probably maybe you are the user who is monitoring the truck, the state of the truck and across, all the locations which they are meant to cover. So probably let's just say we've noticed an issue with one of the trucks. So as the administrator, you can send an alert to the driver on his mobile phone, and he gets a notification saying, "Robots, your trailer unit has a critical failure. To prevent cargo damage, please proceed to the depot. Would you like to see it now?" So these are the kind of information the driver gets because you've triggered an alert to the driver to inform him that this is what is going on with his truck. The driver doesn't get to see this. You are the one managing those fleets, right? So you send this information to the driver, and then he goes to the closest depot, to check on the issue, or probably maybe change the truck and leave the truck there for either servicing or, whatever they need to fix. So yeah. This is just a walkthrough of a fleet management system. There could be more, on health, agriculture. So one of the recent projects which we actually worked on, right, was for a generator house that they have a tank and they have diesel. They want to be able to tell the quantity of the diesel. They want to be able to tell, the temperature, the humidity, and of the generator room, if it's hot, if the cooling system that is stored within the generator room works fine. So we had to set up, the various sensors required for those layers. We even got a sensor that we had to put into the tank where the diesel is, that sends data to Azure IoT, and it tells if the quantity of the diesel within the tank, and as well as the temperature of where the generator house is. And yeah, so that was one of a few of the projects. We've also worked with agricultural organizations as well. We also worked with fleet management where they wanted to be able to track the locations that their drivers have been able to visit over time. So we've been able to do all of these kind of things, using Azure IoT, right? So again, before I go into that, I'd want to just keep this at the top of mind for everyone. So one of the benefits, or the benefits why you should consider using a smart workplace, is that when you think about safety, there are a couple of things, or quite a number of things as humans we won't be able to track. Okay? So usually if you have a car, you can't tell when your car is faulty unless you start noticing some symptoms. It's normal. You have to notice some symptoms before you can now take it to a mechanic for fixing, or to tell the mechanic you've noticing something wrong with your car, right? But this sensor will be able to spot out these things and give you you get to see this visualization on your dashboard, and then you take this car to for observation, right, to the mechanic. Another thing is operational efficiency, right? It gives you that capability to be more efficient within your work day today, right? Giving you a smarter workplace, providing the right tools, the right technology to stay more abreast with digital technology, right? And process control, okay? It gives you that control within your manufacturing firm, your organization, giving you the right data as you need, quality assurance, and above all, right? And above all, transformation and profitability, because if you think about the cost of sensors, right, it's quite cheap, and then the cost of setup within Microsoft Azure, you're paying for just the IoT hub and the storage where your data is stored. And if you want to do further customization, for visualizing your data, yes, that can be done, right? So, ladies and gentlemen, one more thing. So we talk about one more reason, or a couple of reasons why you should consider Microsoft Azure, right? This is just a few of the Fortune 500 companies that are currently leveraging Azure. So I'm not going to talk about this 500, but I'm going to talk about quite a number of companies, within Kenya as well that are using Azure, and they've seen the benefits, right? It's no-brainer, right? It is not cost-effective, so you just need to have the right people, by your side to handhold you, showing you the process, the ways, understanding your solutions, providing you the right, advice and recommendation on how to go about hosting your data, so you don't spend up or you don't overcost your workloads, and then you start spending more within the cloud, right? The cloud is cost effective. So I'll put that, and thanks for listening, and I'll be open for any questions.
A round of applause for him. Thank you so much. Of course, he earlier said that he felt like a pastor here, but of course he has been evangelizing on the gospel of the cloud. I think he did an excellent job on that. Another round of applause for him. Thank you so much. We'll keep it moving because we've spoken about the hybrid workplace. We've spoken about getting your work onto the cloud, but how do you secure once all of that is done? That's the next phase of our discussion and presentation. I'd like to call on stage Mr. Innocent Okumu. He's the East Africa Regional Account Manager for Sophos. Innocent, a round of applause as he comes on stage as well.
That's better. As is correctly said, my name is Innocent Okumu. Not really the regional account manager, but the country manager. So I work for Sophos. I represent the regional market, that is Kenya, and the surrounding countries. So what is Sophos? I've had so many answers whenever this question is asked. So Sophos is endpoint and network protection, providing end-to-end protection for secure networks, applications, data, users, mobile devices, infrastructure. And I know many of you in the ICT world have invested in various solutions and technologies. You have SIM, you have NAC, You have so many, solutions to alert you on what's going on in your network. Let's look at it this way. That 20th will be a public holiday in Kenya. You have a SIM in your network. You are the system admin, so it's your work to detect intrusion and any malware and mitigate it in time. So if you are me, you will end up in the shores of Lake Victoria fishing using a rod. And let's say hypothetically, when it's a holiday on a Thursday, we love taking the next day off so that we have 4 continuous uninterrupted days. So you are in the shores of Lake Victoria, you have a SIM, you have a NAC, you have a firewall, great, secure. But are you? Because if a malware attacks you on Thursday afternoon, on Wednesday afternoon when you're probably already traveling, it will stay in your network for 4 days. It simply means you could easily get shut down for more than a week after that. What does Sophos do? What does SIM do? A SIM will just send you a report. There has been an intrusion in your network. And that's end of story. But what does Sophos XDR do? We actually isolate the machine that has been infected. Whether it's a server, whether it's the telephone, a mobile phone, handheld device, or a laptop. You come back on Monday, your network is still secure. And if you had a SIM, you'll come back on Monday, you'll get the report, but the damage is done. So I wouldn't be making much of a speech as such. And with me is my system engineer, Samson Ogada, also in charge of East Africa. So I'll instead give a quick overview of Sophos solutions. Samson? Well, thank you guys. That's it from me.
All right. Thank you, Innocent. Morning, everyone. Yeah, thank you so much to Reliance team for making this happen. And also thank you for finding time to grace this occasion. I want to say thanks to the speakers who've spoken before me and the good insights that they've talked about. More so, maybe I just want to recap what Mr. Gaki had said. He took us through a hybrid work environment. Actually, I'm the person whom he was describing when he talked about that, because after staying home for 2020 and part of 2021, then when it came back to waking up each and every morning and going to work, I just didn't feel like it. But then, being a security consultant, you have to go to where your clients are. So here we are. But then, that is how the hybrid work looks like. And when the pandemic came up and we had this sudden shift, there were a lot of issues that came up, more so for us who are on the security front. We were used to having all our systems the same place, all our environments. We could know where our perimeter is, but then all of a sudden, guys starting working from home. Even right now, the challenge is still there partly, but then we are overcoming it because almost each and every room and every house became an office. Okay, people would connect to the corporate environment through their own Wi-Fi's, laptop systems. Some of them are not verified, and so through that there were increased number of threats on the environment. And maybe if you've gone through research and some publications on the security threat and trends during the COVID, it really shot up because of issues like that. Now, you don't need to panic in case you're in such a situation. That is why Sophos is here, and that is what we basically do. So today we are talking about mainly cloud services. That is what is here. And we've all made journey. Going to the cloud is a journey, just like any other. And when you want to leave your place, going to another place, many of us normally do some reconnaissance survey. You ask someone, how is it when I get there? Okay. And based on the person whom you're going to ask about it, you're going to get varied information. I've had the privilege to interact with some few foreigners who've come to our country. And one group of them tells us that someone told them, when you get to Nairobi, never leave your room. When it strikes 6:30, never leave your room because it's very unsafe. Okay. Others, but when they come to the ground, find things are what? Things are different. Yeah, as we say, ground in tofauti. On the ground is different. So the same way also, as you make the journey towards the cloud, you're going to find varied information and varied messages based on this on the person whom you interact with first. I mean, I can only talk to you about my own experiences and how my journey has been. And that is why there are very varied information. When you go to the cloud, others will tell you security to the cloud is already taken care of. You don't need to worry. Others will tell you you need to take care of your security. And all these are myths that we just wish to debunk today and ensure that as we make that particular journey, we are sure that we are ready for that. I would want to compare this with Pizza as a service. I don't know how many of us have heard about Pizza as a service. Right now, we are talking so much about as a service, as a concept. So if you want to go out and eat pizza, there are various ways in which you can do that. I mean, you can bake your pizza in the house, okay? You can go take the dough and bake it in the house. You can maybe call Bolt or any other company and they deliver it for you. Or you can decide to go out and dine. Depending on which method you choose, there are various responsibilities that you need to take. If you opt to bake the pizza in-house, then you take full responsibility. You take care of the power, you take care of the dough, you take care of the ingredients, you take care of the utensils and everything that goes there. That is equivalent to if you have your systems on premise. If you have your systems on premise, services on premise, then the full security solution becomes your responsibility. You have to make sure that you get the firewalls, you get the endpoints and other solutions that would ensure your systems are in place. If you opt to go buy the dough and then bake it, we compare that with infrastructure as a service. And then if you want the pizza delivered for you, we compare that with platform as a service. And then if you want to go and dine, we compare that with software as a service. So depending with which service you're able to take, just like I've said, there are various responsibilities that you need to take care of. And I've had some security solutions providers, cloud solutions providers, talk to clients and tell them that security on the cloud is taken care of. That is partly true because providers like Microsoft, for example, and others on their space, they go through a lot of investment, they go through a lot of effort to ensure that they take care of their particular cloud environment. That is the infrastructure. But then when you go out and rent a space on the environment, then it becomes your responsibility to take care of the environment that you're given. We all came from somewhere this particular morning. Others came from the east side of Nairobi, others west, north, south. Depending with where you came from, your security may be bolstered or may not be, but then all the same, you need to do something. You cannot say because I live in a gated community, so I'm going to leave my house open because nothing will happen. Or if anything happens, I'm going to ask the guards at the gate who broke into my house. That one can't happen. Whether it doesn't matter how secure your environment is, you have to make sure you take care of the space that is given to you. The same way also with cloud solutions. When you go to Microsoft Azure and you rent a space, you have your servers, you have your workloads, you have your assets there. It's your responsibility to ensure that you take care of the security of those environments. So among the options or among the measures that you can take to bolster your security on the cloud is onboarding Sophos to take care of that environment for you. We have comprehensive solutions that we can be able to employ and deploy and take care of your cloud. some of the requirements that we may want to get on the cloud are like maybe visibility. You'd want to see what's happening on your cloud. You'd want to look at the compliance. You want to look at cost monitoring. You want to integrate them with your DevSec tools. All those features are available on Sophos Cloud Security Solutions. And if you go with that, there are many other advantages that you can be able to get by getting onto Sophos. Other than that, we're also able to go a step further. We even protect your data, we protect your users, we protect your infrastructure, we protect your environment, not just on cloud, but even on-prem as well. And we are one of the vendors who find ourselves at a unique position whereby we've got very strong endpoint and also very strong network security solutions. So in a sense, we're able to take care of your environment from end to end. So if you, as you make your journey to the cloud, kindly let Sophos take care of those environments, environment for you, and ensure that you have the peace of mind as a service that one speaker had talked about here. So as we proceed, we've got solutions that that would just let you offload the entire security management onto Sophos team, so that we can take care of that as you take care of your other things, just the way my colleague had also had spoken about. So right now we've got solutions like, let's say, the MDR, Managed Threat and Response, whereby we come in, you let software security engineers take care of your security solutions for your environment, and you can focus on other core or critical areas that you're tasked with on your various environments. So in fact, right now we at Sophos, we are also saying, as they talk about peace as a service, peace of mind as a service, we are also offering you cybersecurity as a service. We know cybersecurity may not be your core area of competence, and that is why we wouldn't want to task you with learning a new skill that you may not be interested in. Yet we have experts who are already proficient and qualified in that environment, and so let us take care of your environments, both cloud and on-prem, as you focus on your other areas of business continuity. So otherwise, thank you so much. That would be my remark.
Thank you for that as well. And of course, like you said, in case you want to get more inquiries as to how to protect yourself even on the cloud, you can reach out to Sophos. The team is here and they'll walk you through that as well. Right before we get to our break, we had Dr. Rogendo here, and he came and just spoke in the sense that he has nothing much to say. He's not a tech expert, but he can vouch for what Reliance Data Tech has done for their company in terms of moving forward in that regard, and to go deeper into that particular story and how they've actually helped Kevian Kenya Limited. Let me call on stage Mr. Kimani Gathige to take us through that customer success story. A round of applause for Kimani tafadhali. Thank you so much.
Good morning, team. My name is Edwin Kimani Gathige. As you have heard, I work for Kevian Kenya Limited. I'm in the ICT department. And as our managing director had earlier mentioned, we are one of the proud partners or customers of Tech. And for this, we have been having an engagement with them, and so far we have been happy. So I'll just highlight some of about our company, Kevian Kenya Limited. We are a food manufacturing company in Kenya that produces fruit juice, fruit drinks, fruit nectars, drinking water, carbonated soft drinks, and extracted juice pulp. Some of the products that we have include Pick and Peel, Apia Juice, Acacia Kids. We have Apia Energy Drinks, and a number of them. I'm sure you have already interacted with our products. In terms of our strategy, we aim to create prosperity by producing quality food products, and also ensure that the markets that we hit the market for the Kenyan market and the African market at large. We are becoming a Pan-African company, and that's our goal. Our vision is to become a world-class provider of products that enhances good living to its customers through sustained growth, production of world-class products, and establishing partnership that benefit all, including the farmers and the community at large. The partnership with Reliance, basically our partnership with Reliance started a little bit longer, and it came as a chance through an acquaintance. During that period, we had a problem with one of our data centers, and the previous able to assist us in terms of the technical support and all that. And through an acquaintance, we managed to get someone at Reliance, and the good thing is that the assistance came free as just through the acquaintance. And later on, when we were looking at some of the services that we wanted to improve on, we realized that we could be able to evaluate them. And the main selection point was not because we had an interaction with them, but based on how they marketed their products and also quoted their products. It was meeting our requirements. So, as I mentioned, Reliance have been one of our service providers for Microsoft Azure service, and this is a cloud service that is able to assist us in managing our data. Based on the nature of our business, we produce a lot of transactional data. We also have a large database of the customers and the customers and suppliers. We have to ensure that all this data is secure, and at the same time, we can be able to mine this data for better decision making. And some of the solutions that we have been able to receive from Reliance guided us to be able to get into that engagement. So basically the partnership, one of the partnership areas that we have looked at is the Reliance. The reliability as a business. We wanted to ensure that our business is reliable. At any time we can be able to ensure that we are always available so that we don't have any downtime. Another thing is about business continuity. In case of we have any disaster, we can be able to ensure that our business is not impacted negatively and that we can continue transacting. And with the services that we are receiving, we have been given a peace of mind. I've heard a number of speakers mention that you want to, as a business or as a service, someone who is consuming the service, you want to have the peace of mind. That is one of the things that we have been able to receive, a peace of mind, so that if you're going on holiday, you are sure you'll not be called to go back to work to be able to resolve a server or something like that. So with this, some of the services is that we are able to have failovers, and also in case of a disaster, we can be able to kick in a restoration mode in a very short matter of time. So those were some of the other area is about optimality of the costs. The cost by the organization Reliance Data Tech compared to the other service providers were affordable to us, and we felt it's an organization that minds the partners that they are working with. The other area is support. I will be able to say they have great technical support. The team is quite friendly. The other advantage is the service is locally available. In that in most service providers you find they are either based abroad or somewhere else, and you find you need to get in touch with them quickly and you need them to resolve and all that. You cannot be able to get hold of them either through phone calls or emails, and becomes a problem even expressing the type of challenge that you are getting. With Reliance, we have noted the issue about technical support has been quite good, and any issues that we had has been resolved quite fast and in time, and we are really grateful for that. And I don't think there's much I would like to add, but that will be all, and thank you for the team. Thank you.
Thank you for that. I had said we're going to go on a break, but there's one more word we have to have before that. We have a representative from Microsoft. Samuel Karaoke, is he here? Okay, I think, yes, he's just done. He's coming in for a brief word on that, and then from there, we shall all proceed to our break. So, Samuel, welcome on stage as you get to our break. Asante sana. As he comes on stage, a round of applause for him as well. Thank you so much.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Apologies for that. I was just caught off guard. But yeah, as you've heard, I'm karaoke, and I represent the Microsoft entity for East Africa. So I manage the cloud business for East Africa, closely working with Reliance, our partner, to drive and innovation across the region. And for those of you, how many of you know what the Microsoft mission is? By a show of at least one. Yeah, so as Microsoft, our mission is to enable every person, every organization in the world to achieve more. And how we do that is closely working with our partner ecosystem, of course Reliance being one of them, to ensure that you achieve more with less. And actually that is the theme of Microsoft today, where for those of you who probably might have enrolled for the Ignite program, there's a program that it's a global event that normally runs on, it's an event that states, or Microsoft gets together with its customers, with its partner to explain what their mission is for the next coming year. And one of the key missions for us as an organization is to ensure that we simplify how you work, how you innovate, how you become agile. And one way of achieving that is by ensuring you do more with less. Value for your money, value for your innovation, value in every aspect of innovation and throughout your journey. So for me, it's glad to be here. It's glad to see all of you here. I wasn't prepared much, but just to let you know that we closely work with Reliance to address some of the key challenges that you might have, be it from an infrastructure perspective, be it from a security perspective, data and AI perspective, and also from an app innovation perspective. So it's a pleasure to be here. It's a pleasure to see all of you here. And I'm happy to interact with you. For those of you who might want to understand anything about Microsoft in details and our close working relationship with Reliance, please feel free to interact with the Reliance team. And I will leave my cards at the door. We can interact more and we can get to know each other better. So without further ado, thanks a lot. And I'd like to pass the mic back to the chair.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Thank you, Samuel. Like he said, that conversation can continue. You can take his card or shake his hand, of course, as we get to break. And that's what we'll do at this point. Lots has been discussed: cloud, security, leveraging, all these things. Let's have some human-to-human connection at this point. Take a short tea break. It is 11:06, 07. We'll have half an hour's break on that. We can reconvene here at around 11:35, 11:40, and take it from there. Asante sana. Okay, see you in a bit.